Hey guys, Frank here, and welcome to another episode of Digital Classroom. You already know it, right? This is time for How Did I Shoot This One? Today we're going to take a look at this shot, and I have to say to you guys, I'm not 100% satisfied with the results yet, because we tried something that I never did before, and I ran into some issues that I want to talk about in this episode of Digital Classroom. Now, during the workshops, we of course love to work with lighting and sets and topics. But sometimes a light shaper isn't a softbox or a reflector. Sometimes you can use a light shaper that gives you way more options. And one of my favorites, without any doubt, is this beauty over here. This is the Westcott Lindsay Adler projector. And they actually call it a snoot. Now, the thing about a Gobo projector is that you have a few options. The first one is, of course, on the front you can place a lens and you can focus your your lighting. So that means if you place something in there with strong lines, you can make it blurry or you can make them razor sharp. And that's something that no other modifier that I know of is able to do. The other thing that I really like about this one is you have the blades. So with the blades you can create a really nice narrow beam of light on your model, or maybe a triangle or a rectangle, I don't know, just whatever you want to do, as long as you can do it with the blades. Now sometimes you want more than the blades, right? You want patterns on your backdrop, and that's when you use the gobos. Now gobos are round pieces of metal with patterns inside there. The light will travel through the pattern and that will be projected on your backdrop or on your subject. Now, I thought for this workshop, let's do something else. And I actually prepared a gobo like this. Now, this is a normal gobo. The only thing that I did is I used a piece of red gel and a piece of blue gel over the gobo and just put it inside the gobo snoot. Now, the thing that you have to realize is a few parts. The first thing is, although I love a Gobo projector, they also eat light. So that means that you have to use your strobe on full power, and then you probably have to bump up the ISO for the very simple reason that otherwise you don't have enough lighting. Now, if you use it on your backdrop, that's okay, but if you use it as your main light source, like in this image, you really want to bump up your ISO to get a properly exposed image. And that's already without the gels. Now, as you know, a proper gel takes away about 1 to 2 stops of light. So that means that you have to bump up the ISO a lot. Now, the main advantages of the Gobo strobes that we're using is that for my accent lighting, I'm using here a GT200 with a red gel.
Hallo? Hallo? Ik ben er. Nu ben ik er niet. Nu ben ik er wel. Nu ben ik... Nou ja.
And the main advantage of the Gobo strobes is that I can put them on a very, very low setting. And that means that I can combine the GT400 with my Gobo projector and this prepared gobo, which takes away a lot of light and still get a proper image. Now, again, this was the first time we tried it out, so the images are okay, but I think there's a lot more to gain here. For my lighting setup, I'm using my main light source, the Gobo projector, on a GT400 from Gobo. I'm using the Gobo with the gels, and my only other light source is actually the GT200 with a gel from the back. Now again, we're using smoke here to just glue everything together. And that's one of the things that you will see me do a lot, using smoke to glue stuff together. And that's the nice thing about smoke. When we shoot a product or a model with aimed light sources or focused light sources, there are always shadows that will block up your view. In other words, that might benefit for just a little bit of extra light. You don't want to use an extra strobe to open it up completely like a lighting light setup, but just a little bit of detail. And this is where smoke can really save today. Because as soon as you start using smoke and you use light from the backlighting will actually reflect back on your model, opening up those shadows. For the front, of course, you have to be careful where you place your lighting for the very simple reason. Think about when you drive with your car in the mist and you turn on your headlights, everything will be white. So you don't want that, of course, in your model photography. This is why, with most cases, when we use smoke, we place the lights very close to the model and under an extreme angle, meaning I don't get that reflection straight back in my camera. In this case, we didn't have to worry about it because we're only using smoke a very little bit on the floor and on the sides just to glue everything together. The Gobo projector is actually my main light source. Now the thing is, it emits so little light that it's very difficult to actually see where the model's face is in the picture. So that's why we're using our iPad, of course, Cascable, and our IQ wire cables to shoot tethered. And by the way, this is something you should always do in your studio because you want to see your images coming in. But with a setup like this, it actually becomes vital because I want to make sure that my model is in the right position, because otherwise using a Gobo can give you horrible accents on your model with lines just going straight through the face where you don't want them. So just take a few shots, look at your monitor, and then just tell your model, stay very still, move a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and it's very, very slight adjustments. So let's take a look at the behind the scenes video of this lighting setup, and then of course the final results. Now, light shapers are cool, light shapers are essential, but light shapers are designed for a certain purpose. But you shouldn't always use them for that purpose. Be creative. If you have some gels, put them on your Gobo. If you have an idea about a light source, using it in a different way. How do you think people invented feathering of light sources? By using the sides of the light, you get a much nicer and softer quality of light. This is all done by people that experiment with their light shapers, and that's the best tip I can give people. Think about different ways to use your light shapers and your gear, and man, the creativity will flow and you will get much better images. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Smash the like button and of course also the bell notification button, so when we upload a new video, you get a notification. But most of all, tell other people about our channel so we can grow. It really helps us out to put out more content for you guys. See you again next time. Bye, guys.